Hey guys, what is up? Red Master here, and welcome to a brand new series on the channel. Um, this will be the series I was talking about last Tuesday on the Hidden Comments video. Sorry if I do sound a little stuffy. I caught something over the past few days, and I think I'm trying to get rid of it as fast as I can before Christmas time comes around, or whatever you celebrate. I should really call it the holiday season because, 2016. Let's not offend everyone else in the world. So anyways, this series will be called Archetype Analysis. What I'm going to do here basically is go over a certain archetype, its strengths, weaknesses, powers, etc. Overall, what they have, and how to build a basic deck of that format, just so you have sort of a basic understanding of what a certain archetype deck might look like. So with that being said, this will be every Friday now, kind of replacing the Res tutorials now that that series is over. But the first episode, we will focus around these guys. The Knights, as mentioned by, or suggested by one of our viewers, left a comment down below saying, or asking, I don't remember what exactly was it, but it did have something to do with Knights. So, I figured, Knights are an archetype, right? So let's start off the series with Knights. So, when you see Knights, you usually see one or two specific factions. I don't have to say one. I don't know what I was talking. Oh, I know what I was talking about, but but first, let's get into the two factions you'll primarily see with a Knight deck. You will see Crusaders and you will see Warlocks. Warlocks generally for the Furnace Knight, but also for some other sneaky removal. I'll try to demonstrate that as I build a deck, but what they generally do, Knights, you will see a common theme with them, and you could argue this, that, not all the Knights have this, and, yada yada yada, but an essential part or key component of Knights are their movements. Now, before you start getting into the comments saying, why isn't health one of them? Health is there, but it's not as large as movement in my opinion. As you can see, they have a whole building derived for the... Sorry, got a neck cramp here. They have a whole basic buff building derived for movement, as you can see here. Your Knights gain 1 movement. And you also see cards that have a built-in movement ability, which we call Charge. The Reckless Knight has it. Genevieve has it, I do realize, or do know, and you could see cards that like Headless Horseman, which already have a base of 4 movement. Everything else does have 2 or 3 movement, but that can easily change the 4 movement if you have an existing stables out, which really shows that these guys intend to move quickly on you, and to not be slow whatsoever. Along with Charge, like I said, another key component would be health. You do see a lot of health things thrown into Knights. Usually they have a nice amount of HP on them when they're out, usually from cards like Plea of the Righteous. The Stables gives that extra health. The Banners, which also gives the movement, I forgot about that. Or they already have a generally nice amount of health to them already, such as, once you get past Headless Horseman, every other Knight, Dork, Garden, Zealous, Genevieve, White Knight, Frog Prince, they all have about 7 health or higher. So it definitely shows that health is another key component, which is why Crusaders are there. If you want to use Knights, you also have to remember to heal them. Healing is a very important aspect to Knights, in my opinion. You want to make sure they don't die so they can keep on fighting, like Knights do. They always like to fight until they can't do it anymore. So generally what Knights do lack, though, is attack power. You will see that Knights generally have no clear way of attacking. Unfortunately, that's basically the issue with them. You see that, with the exception of Frog Prince, nothing really will go higher than 5 attack. And when you have cards like Play of the Righteous that gives that only +1 attack, you really don't see much power from them in terms of raw force, which is where abilities such as the auras come in. Now, auras have always given players a hard time, mostly when you're against them, not much when you're using it. Using it's kind of just brain dead simple. But generally, what aura does is explode for a 3x3 area around the unit that has it, and it deals damage to any enemy around it. So cards like Furnace Knight, White Knight, and Zealous Knight are usually thrown into Knight decks in general because they have that aura, they have that power to them. That gives them the extra damage, but however, this is a downfall when played alongside what we call aura cards, I want to call them. They're not really aura cards, but you kind of know what I mean. We're talking about Flame Shield, Blinding Radiance, cards like Primordial Flame, health buff like Pacifism. Once you combine those with Knights, they can become a seriously annoying combo to play against. Generally because what an opponent will do is throw out a aura unit in its weakest state, which is, in my opinion, the time when you have to kill it or else they get crazy. After that, if you're unable to kill it, they'll throw a buff like Pacifism or Dragon's Crest Shield on it, making it more difficult to eliminate, and meanwhile moving it slowly closer and closer towards your base until it is sitting right there next to your fort and blowing up for consecutive damage each turn until basically you're done. So that's the unfortunate, annoying part of Knights, but like I said, if you're not playing them in a strong combo with Aura, they generally lack the attack power or brute force to attack well. And you also have some random abilities of Knights, like Joan-Viev's Heal for 6 of all Knights, Frog Prince's Last Will on the Castle, Door Knight's Weird Retaliate effect, which normally I don't think any other card has, Earth Knight's Knockback. So there's generally a lot of abilities thrown into Knights, but Aura, Movement, and Health are the 3 main components that make Knights who they are. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just build a simple Knight deck for you guys. Just a standard one. And basically, I'm going to try and keep it as simple as I can. I won't use Frog Prince, just because I know not everyone has it. If you want to throw them in there, though, you're always welcome to. But if you're building a Knight deck, you're going to want to start with, of course, Shield Knight, Stables, a good place to start, Reckless Knight, Plea of the Righteous for that buff I was talking about, Garden Knight, White Knight, and these are just generally what you want to have your units looking like. I would say Headless Horseman. If you're not into that, though, you don't have to. I'm not going to edit in here. I'm trying to stay away from all the epics and stuff like that, because I know not a lot of people might have those when they're starting out, but once you do evolve into that higher state, which I'm just going to add in now, you're going to get Furnace Knight, you're going to get Luminaris, and you're going to get Zealous Knight along with Joan-Vieve. So that's 30 cards right there. I guess you could say you could throw in Door Knight. So that's about 33. Now, you could also combine cards from the other faction too. You don't necessarily need to neglect them. Last Stand I like. Warlocks, like I've talked about, you want your removal. You're going to want to have to go with maybe some Combustion if you're feeling lucky. Mold with that. One more card, really? What did I use? Jeez. One more card. Let's go with a Chaotic Storm, I guess. Actually, we'll swap out one Last Stand for 2 Chaotic Storm. So, that's basically what I would call a basic Knight deck, what you'll see. Maybe not this complex if you're just beginning out, or you're just starting out. But, let's take it into combat, shall we? Just gonna do a single player, just to test the Knight power. And I'll try to explain, what I mean. So, this is pretty good. We have good starting hand, mostly Knights. I did throw a lot of Knights in there as my units. Actually, that's just overall what I threw in there. I would like to see the stables so I can emphasize the movement, but we do have Reckless Knight, so that's not going to be a problem. We're going to lunge out this Reckless Knight. You can see that charge ability really gets out far, which is useful for clearing some early things and getting some early damage, like my shield that I just did on the castle. You start to throw up our Furnace Knight. We'll get this Manfish out of the way. We'll bash the Reckless Knight on the castle for 3, and you can see that aura. That's going to be basically what the Furnace Knight's power really is. So this will not get rid of my Reckless Knight. I'll try to keep this Reckless Knight alive, but I know he may not. But as you can see, if I did have stables, it would basically show what I was talking about. Okay, well, this is good. So that Holy Aura you do see kind of heals itself there. Joan will be able to heal up our guy. I do want to kind of prolong this a bit to see what I could pull. We'll get rid of that wizard. I know this may not I know this is what may not happen every match that you face with Knight. You know, may not be this simple. But I'm just, again, outlining the basics of it. Okay, so, you see here, we just pulled that Plea of the Righteous. Now, we get another Reckless Knight to help us on the field. We can throw down that Plea, and you see everything getting that buff. Looks pretty dangerous. So, we're going to position our guy over there. You can see the Holy Aura will heal up the Knights pretty well. That last stand is also pretty effective. We get to throw that on our Knight. Throw some more on here. And he's going to pull off the Shadow Aura. So of course the Luminaris, that's a very effective way of dealing damage. As you can see, that widespread area of effect there. And now next turn, I think we're just going to end it pretty quickly. Yeah, last day. So you can see how powerful a Knight can get, just basically deriving on that health factor. So heal all of our remaining Knights out there. And yeah, that's really about it. I held this combustion, I really didn't need it. But what you can do is throw it on your Knights, depending on how much are out there, you deal even more damage. So that was it. Nice, quick, simple archetype archetype analysis. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much went through what I think of the Knight archetype, its strengths, weaknesses, key components, etc. I hope to do this with more archetypes in the future. I'm sorry if this video does seem a bit low on the content or the depth of the analysis. I still am a bit sick, and I hope to get over that, hopefully, by the start of next week, so I can be back to my good old self. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and maybe share it or comment down below. And make sure to always hit that subscribe button. All of that support you guys give does help in the long run with making videos. I hope you enjoyed, guys, and until the next video, stay gaming.